Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe, episode 14.
It's time to reverse the imbalances in your life as you take the first step on your own journey towards personal change. Welcome to Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe, educating, empowering, and inspiring individuals to live healthier. Now here are your hosts and your guides to natural living, Jamal and Kim.
Hi, Kim and Jamal here, and welcome to another episode of Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe podcast. That was our beautiful daughter, Soora, doing the introduction, and I was so proud of her. She has so much fun recording it. But here we go, yet with another week on these episodes. Jamal and I like to record an episode ourselves, recapping this week's interview, which was episode 13 with Ashley Chung. That was a great interview.
Yeah.
We got a lot of great feedback from that. And but we like to get on, recap the interview, and also discuss some other things that came to mind during our show. So I'm Kim, and I'm joined with Jamal.
Greetings, everyone.
And let's dive.
Peace and blessings.
Yes. And let's dive into this week's episode. So the name of the podcast was 125 pounds. I guess, what was it? Do you remember? Oh, God, no, I remember. It was 125 pounds switching from SAD to RAW with Ashley Chung. And SAD, for those of you who do not know what that is, it's an acronym for Standard American Diet. And unfortunately, that acronym came, or that saying came to fruition because of just the state of health in terms of people in this country and the foods that we have available. We have so many fast food places and supersize me this and a lot of acidic foods, sugar foods. And, you have to comb and scratch almost and go out of your way to find healthy food choices in most areas. And so that's where the Standard American Diet came from. If you eat that diet, it's a diet full of fat, sugar, refined foods, processed foods, foods that do not help to build and rejuvenate the body. So in this week's episode, Ashley shared that she switched from the Standard American Diet to a raw food diet and had so many transformations, not in herself, but also in her life. And it sparked her to go into this industry full time, and she works with people, helping people to improve their health if they want to lose weight or transition to a raw diet. That is the powerful work that she's doing. So she was on the air this week, and it was a lot of great takeaways. So did you want to start things off with anything?
Yeah, actually, I want to just kind of discuss what you were just talking about, the Standard American Diet, and we use the acronym SAD. I mean, think about it. The SAD diet, Standard American Diet. And I think that it's appropriate, but I want people to take a chance to really think about that, like how sad that diet is. And it was a lot of takeaways for me with this show. Just kind of sparked a lot of reflection on some things that, I want to share with everyone when it comes to really understanding food. Food is energy, right? So food is supposed to add on to your diet. I mean, will add on to your health. That's what food is supposed to do.
Right.
And, the way that I look at it is food does two things for your body. And I think it's important for people to really think about this, like spend some time thinking about this. Food is either medicine or food is either poison. Like that's it. It's that cut and dry. It's either or. I like to say that your food is life force or your food is death force. And a lot of times people don't really examine that, but it comes down to those things. So when you eat, you need to evaluate, am I putting life into my body or am I putting death into my body? And when I say death, I'm not talking about animal products. And when I say life, I'm not just talking about, vegan, products. You know, we have a lot of guests that come on our show and they talk about different diets and different lifestyles that have transformed their life for the better. But one of the things that we learned over the past 12 years is that there isn't a one-size-fits-all dietary plan.
Right.
You know, everyone has their own genetic makeup, and certain people need to be on a raw food diet. Some people need to be on more cooked food. Some people need to be on a vegan diet, and some people actually need to have some animal products, animal foods in their diet based on, you know, whatever is going on with them. It's different for everyone. So it's not a one-size-fits-all type of thing. So when I say life and death, I'm not using that contrast. But it's important, no matter what type of food that you're eating, to, you know, evaluate that. Am I bringing life into my body, or am I bringing death into my body?
Right.
And you need to weigh that out on a scale, a mental scale, or you could even write it down. And then you can evaluate it from there. And it really translates. It's very simple. If most of the foods that you're eating contain life force and they're bringing life to the body, then your health will be on the incline. And if you evaluate your health and most of the foods that you're consuming contain death force, then your health is going to be on the decline. You're going to be degenerative. Your health is going to be poor. You're going to have health challenges and imbalances that manifest as diseases. So it's very important to look at that, because a lot of people don't spend time looking at that. We sit in front of countless clients that never really evaluate that. They come in with health challenges and we analyze their diets, and most of the things that they're bringing in is actually death force. So we get caught up in this death force eating. We get caught up in fad eating and just not really being in tune with our bodies and the things that we put into our bodies, that we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves to poor health. And the reason why I really enjoy this show with Ashley is because she got confronted with a lot of different fad diets. She got confronted with the possibility of taking, you know, drugs from a doctor, and calorie counting and so many different things. And she chose to change her lifestyle to lose her weight. Right. She didn't know what the outcome was going to be, but she just saw so many people that were eating mostly life force foods or live foods that are completely alive. And she saw the transformation that was taking place in their lives. And she went on that journey, and within 1 year, she was able to lose over 100 pounds. Actually, in like 9-10 months, she was able to lose over 100 plus pounds. Right. And nowadays, if you go to a doctor and you are at least 100 pounds overweight, that can be considered morbidly obese, and you can have surgery. You can have the various different types of surgery when you're over 100 pounds. Right. But because they make it seem like you're gone. Once you're over 100 pounds, you're gone and you can't come back. But she was able to come back or drop that waist in less than a year. And that is powerful within itself. It's powerful because she changed her lifestyle and she never looked back. And one of the things that happens is in our health industry and just in the health industry overall, we tend to get caught up in the hype of things. You know, we used to offer weight loss programs, you know, to try to get people to, you know, help them to lose weight. And what we found with, you know, even, you know, offering holistic health oriented weight loss programs, people would follow the program and then they would get off of the program because they felt like they met their destination. They go back to the death force foods,
right,
and their health declines and they put the weight back on. But we don't offer weight loss programs anymore because it's actually pretty ridiculous to offer a weight loss program. We offer life force, life-changing programs. We help you to change your lifestyle and the weight will come off. The weight is a negative side effect to death force foods and, just living a lifestyle that is harmful to your body. Weight in the form of waste comes along with that. But when you begin to change your lifestyle and you begin to live more holistic and healthy, the weight will literally fall off of you. It's said that like in the health industry, if you can steadily lose weight at the rate of 1 pound a week, every single week losing 1 pound, like that's standard and that's really good. But I mean, she crushed it. She was crushing it like week after week, month after month. She was crushing it. Right. Yeah. And all she did was change her lifestyle. She changed her lifestyle. And it had an energetic, an emotional, a spiritual effect on her well beyond the weight that she lost. So this is much deeper than weight. And we want you to begin to have a shift in your consciousness and get beyond, I have to lose weight.
Right.
Why don't we just say we have to change our lifestyles so that weight won't be an issue. If you change your lifestyle and you eat a certain way and you bring balance to the way that you eat, weight won't be an issue for you anymore. We have to stop compartmentalizing different aspects of our lives. We have to look at our life as a whole, and we live our entire life as a whole holistic life. And that's the way that we improve our health, and that's the way that we drop the weight and drop the waste. So I thought it was really powerful to have her on. And, it took a wedding to motivate her to do it. I think that we all have to have our motivation. We have to have the things that are going to motivate us to take our lives to the next level. And you use that motivation as your driving force. So she was able to use that wedding as her driving force. And, you need to find your driving force. What's going to motivate you to have that lifestyle change?
Yeah, definitely. It comes down to habits. I know we spoke earlier before we got on the podcast about, the little tiny steps that you do day in and day out. And as Jamal had mentioned, are you putting life force into your body or death force? And if the scales is tilting more towards the death force, then that's going to reflect in your health, in your weight, how you move throughout your life, how you interact with people, how you feel about yourself. Taking a holistic approach, it's about taking responsibility. First, getting awareness of where you're at, and then also getting clarity on where you want to go, and then get a plan of action to slowly implement and move towards that. And I'm happy that you mentioned about the weight loss program, because we've had various programs and people will see success, but it will be like a yo-yo effect. And as Jamal mentioned, that's what it is, because, in the holistic health industry, a big thing is detoxing, and that's all great, fasting and losing, 21 pounds in 21 days and all these different marketing things that you hear about fasting. And fasting and detoxing is a must. It's a necessity in terms of living holistically. But you want to do it from a standpoint of setting the foundation for your body to heal, rejuvenate, and rebuild and repair, not just to lose weight. Because what a lot of people do is they do the fast, they lose a tremendous amount of weight, and then, 3 months down the road, 6 months, they're kind of starting back at the same spot, or sometimes even worse, because the daily habits that they were doing, eating more death force than life force, making those small little choices to eat things that are more detrimental to their health, instead of good for their health, that begins to show over time. Two books that I will probably always recommend is, which the first one is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, and The Compound Effect. That's what I'm currently reading by Darren Hardy. And these two books really hone in on really those little daily habits that are so easy to do and so easy not to do. The people that consistently, if we use this example of eating life force instead of death force, when you look at the end of the day, if you reflect on your eating choices, and most of the eating choices that you made are life force choices, or all of it were, and if you consistently, day in and day out, do those small little action steps, you will begin to achieve your health results. And this can be in any area of your life. And as Jamal was saying, it's about those little habits, those little action steps to get you along the way. But it has to be a major why. The why is so important. And in the book that I'm reading now, in the Compound Effect, there was a great example. And the example was, let's say someone had a plank, and they put the plank, let's say the plank was like 20 feet long, and they put the plank on the floor, and they said, okay, would you walk across that plank for $20? And most people would say, yeah, I'll walk across it. I mean, it's on the floor. And then the next example was, let's put that 20-foot plank between two high-rise buildings, two twin towers, like a twin towers, and say, okay, walk across it. And most people would say, no, I'm not going to walk across it. I don't want to risk my life. But the third scenario is, let's say you're on the two tall building, the twin towers, the plank is across both buildings, but your child is on the other side of the plank. Would you walk? And most parents would walk because the why was big enough. And that's what the same thing that pertains to your health. What is your why? Is it because you want to reverse an illness? You want to be able to play with your children. You want to perform better at work. You want to feel good about yourself. You don't want to have aches and pains and be depressed. What is your why? Because that is what's going to fuel those tiny little habits that you need to do day in and day out.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think that it's important to change how you go about looking at it. A lot of times people want to lose weight, for example, and the scale isn't moving. So they get frustrated and they keep at it, and the scale isn't moving, and they get frustrated, and they get frustrated to the point where they say, you know what, this isn't working. And they go back to the way that they were eating before, and they gave up. Mm-hmm. And then they take another attempt, later on, and they lose a few pounds, but it's not moving fast enough, and they get frustrated and they go back. But if you can change your mindset and just think about, I'm putting life force in my body because I'm improving my health every day, I'm preventing serious diseases from happening in my life. I'm gaining more energy. I'm doing this to gain more energy so that I'm here and I can keep up with my children, or preparing my body so that I could be a vessel to bring children into the world. Whatever the case may be, let the driving factor be optimum health, so there is no disappointment. If you're constantly putting life force into your body, your health is going to improve. So just understand and know that when you go to get your medical physicals, or I like to say your medical detection test, that your results are going to get better,
right?
And you're going to age slower and reverse the aging process, and let that be your driving force. Good health, not what a scale says, and if you can keep that up consistently, it's just, your body has to change. The weight has to drop. You have to transform. It's that simple. Like, your body will have no choice but to transform if you keep bombarding your cells with nutrients, bombarding your body with oxygen and positive thinking, and releasing the blockages and things of that nature. Your body has no choice but to respond. So we really want to try to help people to begin to have shifts in how they're thinking about their day-to-day actions. And in order to do that, it's important that you stay in the energy. So by reading those books that Kim suggested and listening to the show and, getting into groups. We spoke about that. Getting into different groups to support yourself on your journey and really just preparing your mind. That's how you're successful. One of the things that Ashley said when we was asking her about advice for beginners that are on their journey, she said that just accept the fact that it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of times when we hit these brick walls, because it happens, we hit these brick walls or we hit the mud, the quicksand, and it becomes challenging to move forward. Those are the times that we give up. But if you prepare yourself that this is not going to be easy, I have an addiction or I've been eating this way all of my life. When you prepare yourself, once you hit that resistance, it's like, okay, I knew that I was going to hit this resistance. I knew it was going to be hard and I was ready for it. So I think that mental preparation is also a big part of your success.
Yeah. And just understanding that it's an inside game. And what I mean by that is, Ashley shared with us that, she lost 125 pounds, but it was like she became this new person. She became more conscious and aware and connected. And I can speak from personal experience on my journey over 10 years ago. I wanted to lose weight, but it was the small little steps that I started to incorporate into my life, more life force things. I was juicing and being more conscious and aware of the things I was eating. And over time, you just start to feel these little shifts going on inside of you. And I can't explain it, but when you go through this shift of improving your health and changing who you are, how empowering that is. Because a lot of times people, especially when you get to a certain age, 30, 40, people they feel like they can't grow anymore or they can't change. But you have the ability to write your own story. And when, in terms of your health, you want to master yourself. And another thing is not beating yourself up. If you try a program and you do good and then you fall off, that's not the end. You can get back up and resume and keep going forward. There's, so many areas of our life, we go through different things and it's okay, but you want to just keep forging ahead. And that's why that self-work is so important. Bringing awareness to your life. Do you emotionally eat? Are you emotional? Are you angry? Just bringing awareness to how you move throughout your day. All these things are so beneficial into you learning yourself so that you can master who you are.
Yeah, I agree. And just be open to the subtle shifts that are happening in your body. We spend so much time waiting for the big shifts that we miss the little things that happen. I know for me, one of the biggest things that I love about putting life force foods in the body and really focusing on better health, for me, it's the mental clarity and the spiritual connection. Like over the past few days, we've been cleansing. So we've been eating all live foods and fasting. And just the level of clarity and creativity that I have and that connection that I have with the divine. My meditations are deeper. I'm inspired more to do things. And I think that that's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy how my body shifts as far as physically, the appearance and, the body fat percentage and all of those things. I mean, that stuff is cool, but bigger than that mental shift, the mental capacity is what I appreciate and what I enjoy, so look past the obvious and focus on those small things. For some people, it could be sleeping better. Whatever it is, pay attention to those things because there's always shifts that are happening in your body. It's just a matter of you recognizing what those shifts are.
And celebrating them.
Yeah, and celebrating them. That's really important. Because, again, these shifts could be positive or they could be negative. You could have an ache for no reason. You could have an ache in your knee for no apparent reason, and you ignore that. But that's a shift that's happening in your body, and it could be a result of how you're treating your body overall and what you're putting in your body. So I think these are really key things. And, what I say is try to get more life force foods into your diet. You don't have to be extreme with it, but if you just take that one step and say, I'm going to get more life food into my diet and I'm going to do it on a daily basis, that's where it begins. I mean, you could do something as simple as a breakfast smoothie in the mornings. You can blend up some fruits. You can add some green leafy vegetables to that, and you do a combination of some fruits and green leafy vegetables, and you blend that up in a high-powered blender, and instantly getting in more life force into your diet. It could be something that simple.
Right.
So you're replacing the standard American breakfast, which would probably be eggs and bacon and toast, and grits and pancakes and cereal that has been sitting in a box, for months full of sugar, basically, candy. You're replacing that for something that's life-giving.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how many coffee drinkers and how huge the coffee industry is. There are so many people out there that cannot get through a morning without a cup of coffee. But if you're not putting life in your body, you need that stimulant to get you going. So how about drinking some herbal teas with ginger and lemon and cayenne pepper, things that are going to excite and wake up the body, increase circulation.
Mm-hmm.
So there's simple things that we can do to begin the process of putting more life into our bodies.
Definitely. And we wanted to give any one of you who is listening a little jump start, because we like to give actionable steps, simple steps that anyone can do. So we put together a giveaway for anyone who needs raw recipe ideas. We have 3 delicious, easy to prepare raw food delicious raw food recipes. So if you go to jkhealthtribe.com/14, you can go there and download that free recipe giveaway. There are 3 recipes that we currently use. They're easy to use. We've been doing them for years. And I think you will love them. And if you do make them, just leave a comment on this, on that blog post, jkhealthtribe.com/14. Just leave a comment below and share your results. If you like them, did you tweak it? We just want to hear from you guys.
Yeah. Any more takeaways?
Did you want to touch briefly on raw foods, or I can touch briefly on, just so people could get a better understanding?
Sure. Yeah, you can talk about it.
Okay, so just really briefly, raw foods are also called living foods for a plant-based perspective. It's foods that have not been heated, or they're heated very minimally, and they normally include fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and they're prepared in a way that it's not really heated, so all the enzymes are intact, all the moisture, vitamins, minerals, nutrients is still intact in the food. So when you eat it, 1, your body does not have to work hard to digest it, and 2, the nutrients and everything is readily absorbable in there because it hasn't been heated, and most of the stuff had been killed and denatured. So that's the whole preference behind raw foods. And raw foods is a very healing diet. Many people that go on their diet tend to, just like Ashley, need to heal themselves. And you could sustain yourself on it. But like Jamal mentioned earlier, every diet isn't for everyone. So, but that's just the whole preface behind raw foods.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so don't forget about those 3 free recipes at jkhealthtribe.com/14. Grab those, download those, use them to, as soon as you can, incorporate those foods into your meal plans, at least 1 a day. We have a smoothie recipe, a great dessert, and a delicious salad that can be eaten for lunch or dinner.
Sounds good.
So, yeah, that is all. So until next time, live healthier.
Yeah, everyone, peace and blessings. Stay healthy, stay focused, and take one step at a time.
We hope you enjoyed your time with Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe. To keep you on your path towards a happy, healthier lifestyle, we encourage you to visit jkhealthtribe.com for a free copy of the 8 effective ways to lose weight and keep it off, as well as more content to help you find your health balance. Thanks again, and we look forward to educating, empowering, and inspiring you to live healthier.